Welcome to Anime Drop Zone's second review. This time, I'm digging into my rare gem pile and I'm pulling out the Law of Ueki. I'm not going to get into the dub versus sub debate because that's just stupid, and I'm not going there. But watch it the way you prefer, and I do recommend that you watch this anime. It starts off with a middle school teacher announcing that there's going to be a tournament. The adults sponsor a child in middle school and have the kids fight each other. The sponsors give one power from their arsenal, because they happen to be these great beings that have all these kinds of powers, and they give the one ability to the middle school student. They participate in all these different kinds of fights, and the winner will take one feat/skill from the defeated opponent. Now, these skills and abilities and feats that they gain and lose are, or can be anything from running, to studying, to having women like you. Ueki literally loses his ability to have women like him, and he's hated by all the girls in his class. If you abuse your power and use it on someone who's not in the tournament, you have one feat taken away, and when you have no feats left, you cease to exist. And that's mainly the big danger of the anime, that if you abuse it or you run out of feats, you cease to exist. That's sort of the game over outcome and how you die in this anime. So this smooth pimp daddy of a teacher named Mr. K selects this random, ordinary, sort of absent-minded kid named Ueki. But first he has to see if he has enough righteousness that Mr. K feels is required to win this tournament. But this righteousness is showing that he doesn't hesitate to lose a feat if it will protect or assist in the final goal. Mainly, he's looking to see if he's willing to risk his life to help others and secure the title of king. The winner of the tournament's sponsor will become king of all existence. And the child, or kid who they're sponsoring, will get one feat. They'll get this blank sheet of paper or whatever, and they get anything they want. One feat. Like, it could be being good at basketball, it could be good at running, it could be good at finding hot springs, for example. After Ueki demonstrates his righteousness to Mr. K, he accepts Ueki as his candidate for the throne of the king. Ueki makes friends along the way, including a weak but protective caring girl, which he meets in the very beginning. I don't even recall why she starts hanging out with Ueki, and a boy who wants nothing more than to just have the blank feet so he can write good at finding hot springs on it, and an old enemy who has a change of feelings and joins Ueki at the end of the first arc. The powers in this show are something else. Ueki has the uncanny ability to turn trash into trees. That may seem weak, but if you watch the show till the end, you'll see some spectacular fights. The Hot Spring Boy has the power to turn towels into iron, or was it steel? Well, it is one of those. The ability to turn people into lovers of eyeglasses is another ability. And the ability to turn 1 second into 10 seconds. Tell me how that's not overpowered. I jest. This series mainly consists of intellectual fights where Ueki has to learn his opponent's moves and use his environment to get the victory. I was never disappointed by one of these fights. It's none of this who screams the loudest or who has the biggest hair. No, it's all about the quick wits and the use of the environment. That is mainly why I love this anime. Ueki is an absent-minded, badass genius. He may not be book smart, because he lost the ability to study and learn, but when it comes to fighting, he's number one. He always thinks outside of the box. It's a reference to the anime. Anyway, I think I've said enough about the basics, and now I'll move on to the rating, because this anime is all about the action and story. I'm going to rate it on those. First off, I'm going to do the story. It's somewhat predictable, but for the most part, it's fantastic, and you're always seeing the characters evolve as the show goes on. So I'm going to give it a 8 out of 10 in that area. The action is a perfect 10 out of 10. This is the best action I've ever seen in an anime. And I'm not talking about the flashiness of the fighting with all these special effects. No, I'm talking about the planning and use of his ability to make a perfect fight scene. It's the best I've ever seen. You have to watch this to see it for yourself. So please Do. The Law of Ueki gets a 9 out of 10 and an instant recommendation. It's so close to perfection, but the story and the predictableness holds it back from being a perfect 10 out of 10. I'm sorry to say, but it's still worth watching. This has been an Anime Drop Zone review. This is Train saying good night. Go see Law of Ueki right now. Peace.